In this video, we'll explore why you need to know what tokens are and what the token limit means when it comes to language models. Tokens are the basic units that are used within machine learning. You can think of tokens being very close to words, and we can take a bunch of sentences which can be transformed into a series of individual tokens. There are specific different limits for tokens depending upon the models that you're using. These are all of the GPT-3 models. By viewing OpenAI's documentation, we can also see some of the more updated token limits. For example, the GPT-4 has a maximum token size of 8,192 tokens, whilst GPT 3.5 has a maximum token size for 4,906, and then a slightly larger one for Code DaVinci at 8,001 tokens. To demonstrate why a token limit is important, we're going to try to copy and paste an entire web journal into a single GPT-3 prompt. So if I just take all of this text, and then I put this in here, and I say, write a social media post using the text below. And then we just quickly go and dump this in. And you'll see in the bottom right-hand corner, notice how we've got this 13,674 tokens and prompts. The model can only process up to a maximum of 4,001 tokens in a single request. And remember, that's your tokens for the input prompt, which in this case is this, and also the output prompt, which whichever model you're using will produce a series of tokens. And so actually we can't do that kind of request because it's too large. And you'll see if I take most of the text out, then we've currently got 1,048 tokens in our input. So let's just go and update the maximum length to be at 1,000 tokens. And then we know that we have 1,048 input tokens with a maximum length from the output of 1,000 would give us 2,048 tokens in total. And so the context length is very important because if we add too much to the large language model prompt, then it will likely refuse our request. OpenAI are constantly trying to update the context length. So in the future, I expect this to be less of a problem. However, it's still important to use and know, because even if you can stick more information into the existing prompt, it will cost you more money. And so that's a major consideration to consider. These models are cheap, but obviously if we can put less information in the prompt and still get a reliable output and it's more cost effective, then that's more ideal. It's also possible for us to explore the token limit for a given series of words by using this platform.openai.com/tokenizer tool. Let's explore that for a minute or two just to see how it works. Going back to that example we had earlier where we were trying to insert an entire medical article into the prompt, we could paste that medical article here and it says, oops, try something shorter. So let's cut it down to size and let's say maybe that amount. And you can see here, it shows us the number of tokens and characters. And so this is a great tool for figuring out what kind of token size you might have given a input prompt. We could also clear it and then ask it to show us an example. And you'll see this example here has 252 unique characters and 64 tokens. It's also possible to extract the token limit or token count of your text automatically using something called TickToken. So if you're a software developer, you may want to look into using that package. There are several different approaches that I'd recommend when it comes to avoiding token limits. The first one is to just restructure your initial prompt. Secondly, you could also look into something called chunking, which breaks up a large piece of text or sentences into multiple different types of chunks. You can also have these as windowed chunks which overlap, or you could summarize parts of it and then create a final summary. So there's different approaches to overcoming token limits. All of those have their various forms of advantages and disadvantages.